Standing in a skeletal, gutted kitchen surrounded by white cabinets is a specific kind of modern design torture. You chose white because it was safe, because the real estate agents promised it was timeless, and because it theoretically goes with everything. But now, looking at that sea of alabaster, you realize it feels less like a dream home and more like a high-end dental clinic. White isn't a finished design. It is an invitation. It is the beginning of a story, not the punchline. Without a second color to ground it, white has the personality of unbuttered toast. Today, we are going to stop playing it safe. I am going to show you how to pair specific shades of white with 7 distinct partners to transform your kitchen from a clinical box into an architectural masterpiece. We are finding the soul of your home buried under all that primer. This is the tuxedo of interior design. When you pair a crisp, breathable cloud white with a color as deep and soulful as a midnight sky, you create instant gravity. Imagine your upper cabinets blending into the ceiling in a bright, cool white, making the room feel 10 feet taller, while your kitchen island or lower cabinets are drenched in this velvety navy. In the morning, the cool white surfaces bounce sunlight around, giving you that caffeinated energy you need. But as the sun sets, the navy begins to reveal its true character, absorbing light in a way that feels regal and sophisticated. To make this duo sing, you need unlacquered brass hardware. The warmth of gold against that deep blue is a timeless luxury. Add a thick walnut butcher block or white oak bar stools to act as a peacemaker between the cool white and the intense blue. This combination works because it relies on high contrast, the visual equivalent of a sharp suit with a fresh white shirt. If the first pairing was a tuxedo, this is a cashmere sweater. We are moving away from drama and toward tonal harmony. This is for the person who wants their kitchen to feel like a permanent Sunday morning. Picture linen white walls, a white with just a drop of cream in it, surrounded by the colors of the earth and muted wood grains. The white stops feeling cold and starts feeling soft when it sits next to organic textures. Instead of shiny subway tile, imagine a handmade Zalige backsplash with subtle variations in tone. This palette is incredibly forgiving. If you have a mess on the counter, the warmth of the wood and the creaminess of the white make it look like lived-in charm rather than a disaster. Use tumbled nickel hardware and jute rugs to lean into the earthy vibe. It taps into our primal need to be connected to nature, breathing life back into a sterile box. There is a reason sage green has become the darling of the design world. It is a neutral that actually has something to say. Pairing a soft, matte chalk white with this muted, earthy green creates a space that feels like a greenhouse in the middle of a city. It is calming, restorative, and sophisticated without being pretentious. This combination thrives on the play of light. In the midday sun, the sage looks vibrant and fresh against the soft, chalky background, but in the evening, under warm bulbs, it turns into a moody, sophisticated gray-green. To elevate this look, bring in matte black hardware to provide a modern edge. Think about texture here too. Linen Roman shades, terracotta pots with fresh herbs, and perhaps a white marble countertop with green veining. It is a breath of fresh air that keeps the kitchen feeling organic and vibrant. For those who lean toward a more modern, urban aesthetic, pure brilliant white and charcoal gray is the ultimate power move. This isn't the boring millennial gray of the last decade. This is a deep, smoky charcoal that has enough blue and brown undertones to feel complex against a stark, optical white. When you use charcoal on the floors or as a dramatic backsplash against pure white cabinets, the room gains an architectural sharpness. It feels curated and intentional. This palette begs for industrial materials. Think stainless steel appliances, concrete countertops, or even exposed brick painted in that same brilliant white. The charcoal acts as a shadow, giving the white surfaces a 3D quality. It is a high-confidence look that screams, "I know exactly what I am doing with my floor plan." If you want your kitchen to feel like it is located on the coast of Italy, this is your palette. Terracotta brings a clay-based warmth that makes antique white feel expansive and bright. It is a combination that feels ancient and modern at the same time. Imagine antique white cabinets, which have a subtle, glowing yellow undertone, paired with a terracotta tile floor or a plaster effect hood in a soft clay tone. This duo loves natural light and gets better as it ages. To keep it from feeling too rustic, use sleek, modern silhouettes for your furniture and lighting. Copper accents are a natural fit here, as they echo the orange-red tones of the clay. It is a tactile, sensory experience that turns a functional room into a warm, inviting sanctuary. This is the ultimate exercise in minimalism. White and black is a classic for a reason, but the secret is in the finish and the specific shade of white. By using a paper white, which has a very slight gray tint, against matte black, you avoid the 1980s bachelor pad look and move into something much more refined. Use black sparingly as an accent, a black faucet, black window frames, or a black range hood, against a sea of paper white. This creates a graphic, punctuated look that guides the eye through the room without the harshness of a true optical white. It is clean, it is bold, and it never goes out of style. The gray undertone in the white ensures the kitchen feels sophisticated rather than startling. It is the design equivalent of a black and white photograph, stripping away the noise to focus on the form. Finally, we have the combination that feels like a deep breath at the beach. Mist blue is a pale grayish blue that provides just enough color to distinguish itself from pearl white without overwhelming the space. Pearl white has a soft, luminous quality that mimics the inside of a seashell. This pairing is perfect for smaller kitchens because it maintains the brightness of the white while adding a layer of depth that prevents the walls from closing in. Use silver or polished chrome hardware to keep the cool energy of the palette. Incorporate light-toned woods like ash or maple to keep the room from feeling too cold. This is the quiet luxury of color palettes. It doesn't scream for attention, but everyone notices how good it makes them feel. I have to warn you about the Pinterest Mirage. You've seen those photos of 100% white kitchens, white floors, white walls, white everything. In a studio with professional lighting, they look ethereal. In real life, they are a nightmare. Without a second color to provide a focal point, your brain experiences snow blindness. You walk in and see a blur of brightness. It is visually exhausting and incredibly high maintenance. Don't be the person who is too afraid to commit to a second color. Your kitchen is the heart of your house. It is where your day starts and where your friends gather. When you choose a color combination, you are choosing the vibe of your life. White is the silence, but the color you pair it with is the music. Whether you go with the sharp confidence of midnight navy or the soft embrace of weathered oak, remember that design is about balance. A white kitchen is beautiful, but a white kitchen with a soul is a masterpiece.